Hello guys, hope you're all having an amazing day. Today I'll be showing you all the Cypher setups from defending to attacking to post plant to anti-flank to all of the stuff related to Cypher. So I'll try to cover most of the maps except Breeze because I haven't mastered that yet. So let's just get straight into it. So let's start with my most favorite map to play Cypher with, which is Ascent. Okay, so we're starting with A site here. Usually in defense, that's what I do with my setups. I just put my camera up here. So my camera will be covering if someone is shift walking. Someone shift walking this way, I can just tag them. I usually tell my teammates if I put my cam up here, I'll tell my teammate to if they want to jiggle here at first for a pick to get someone from link. If not, they can just play at the back here and hold this angle. So if someone push, I will just tag them and they will just pick them. It's gonna be easy kill. And for the trip wise, usually I put my trips on this side here. You can either put a cage in here, so when you open it, if someone comes in the cage and gets in the trap, you can still see them, or if they're pushing, you can see them. Or you can put a one-way. You just have to line up. There is a line between the camera and the cage. You have to line up here, this part. So you line up like this, and you have a one-way. I'll just zoom it in when I edit the video so you guys know where exactly to throw the cage. So you can play off angle here beside Jenny, and when someone pushes, you just open the cage and you can see their foot from here. And if you always play Jenny and they kinda pre-fire this area, you can switch it up and play in box. You can put another one-way up here. You use the same line and you line it up below this line here. So you have to look up there. And throw it one way. It lands up here. You can play here in box. So open your cam, and when you hear footsteps or someone hits the trap, you can just open it and you have more vision here on their footsteps if they're rushing. So that's for the first trap. The second trap, usually I'll put a trap here. And I'll put a cage here and a cage here. So and I'll play on Jenny. And if people push, I'll open the first, get the first pick. Maybe if Jet dashes the first trap, it'll get destroyed. If he gets here, you just hear footsteps and listen to them to hit the trap. Once they hit the trap, you just open it and you spray them. So that's one way of holding A site. Another way is you'll have, if you're on an eco round and you're playing with a Spectre or a Judge, you can put like the first trap down here, the second trap here. You'll put a cage here in the middle, and you'll put a cage here on this one. And ask your teammates not to play inside here. Tell them to play here. To hold this angle here. Because if they play on this angle here, if they hold this, and if the enemy pushes from here, they can see you. Because what I will do with these traps here is I'll sit in this corner. I'll be sitting in this corner. Let's say I have a Spectre, and I'm kind of open from this angle there. So usually my teammates will be holding there, and I'll hold here. And if I hear a lot pushing A, I'll just open my cam, wait for someone to hit the tripwire, open both cages, spray them, then go in the corner here. Play on footsteps. Listen how many is pushing in. If you hear a lot, like a lot of people pushing in, you don't have to be on your cam. You just be on, like outside your cam. Wait for people to push in. Open both cages. Spray, kill two. The rest of the team for sure will push in. So what you do is you just fall back with shift key. So you wait here for your teammates to rotate, and once if you hear someone plant, you can just pick them and kill them. Then open cam and try to tag them to give info for your teammates. Another setup for A site is I'll put a tripwire here. So usually if enemies come in, they cannot, they have to white peek a little bit to shoot it. They have to kinda white peek to shoot it. Or they can actually just destroy it behind here, but like, yeah, it kinda delays them. And I'll put a cage here. And I'll put another tripwire here, another cage here, and I'll play in heaven. So you just hold the angle here. If they hit the tripwire, you just open the cage and mostly if you have your cam up in this corner here, most of the time I stay on the cam because I can hold both angles. I can hold here and I can hold there at the same time. So if there's no noise in A or there's people are fighting in mid or B main, I usually tell my teammate here to rotate and help them, and I'll solo here. And in case they rotate and come from cat, I'll be having my cam to tag them, delay them. I'll try sometimes to peek them from here. If they're pushing, I'll just tag and try to get one kill from here. And most of the time I'll just be staying in heaven waiting for them. So if they push here, I'll open the cage and shoot. So they know that the first trap is destroyed and they don't know where the second trap is, so usually I'll open this one if they push here and shoot. Another setup is you put the same trap there, but you get this one and you put it here. And this one also you can play it off heaven. You just put a cage as well on it. I usually put my cages above the tripwire because people panic when they hit the tripwire. They'll be looking for it, and you open the cage as some kind of protection for you. So if someone hits the tripwire there, you just open the cage. They can't see where you're at, but you can see because they're tagged from the tripwire. So you just shoot, it will be easy kill for you. Another setup here is if people are not pushing a lot from A main and they're pushing a lot from cat, you can put a trip here and you can put a one way. You just look up where the leaves is and it bounces back here, so you have a one way. So usually with this one way, if people don't push from A main, if they play on cat because they know most of your tripwires are there. So what you do is you open this cage and you open this cage at the same time for protection, and you have an easy picks here if people push you. So I don't do this always, but like usually I leave one cage here, and the second cage I'll put it up here in heaven for a retake. I'll put in this edge here. So if ever they're planting and you have your cam and you can see where they are, if you know one is hell, you can just stack them and wall bang them. If there's no one hell, if most of them are playing like box or this area or Jenny, what you do is you open the cage, you go inside of it, you drop down, but when you drop, you make sure you shoot. I kinda messed it up there. Let's do it again. So the cage, you open it, then when you go down, you shoot one bullet to cover the jump footstep, and you try to, you know, coordinate with your teammates if they're pushing from switch or from long. So yeah, that's mostly my setups here in A site.
Oh, this goes here. Yes, this plant goes there. Oh, this is a nice spot.
Footstep, eh?
Joke's over! You're dead!
Oh,
Flash.
التراب ده. Look minimap, look minimap.
Spike planted.
Nice shot. Nice. Then
here.
One enemy remaining.
one head. Nice.
Bro, my cam is so OP, bro. Putang ina.
Yes. Putang ina.
Putang ina.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, this was so good, man. Okay, so for B side, I usually put my cam. Oh crap, I didn't get my cam. Okay, so for B side, cam goes up here. You just come in the sledge here. It's not that hard to place the cam up there. You just stand here, you look up here, then you jump. Boom, you have it. I'll put a tripwire. One thing I forgot to say when I started doing the video is if you have an enemy raise or sky, never put your tripwires like on the ground like this, because a boom bot will just destroy it. A Sky's dog will just destroy it. So I usually put at like head level, like you come here, you crouch, and you see like where the line goes. Try to make it on your head, so that if there's a dog, usually it passes by, but usually a dog will destroy it because he would hear it and jump on it. But if there's a Raze's boom bot, it will just go through it. But yeah, anyways, I put one tripwire here. Oh crap. I put one tripwire here. I'll put a cage here. I'll put another tripwire here. I'll put another cage here. And I usually hold this angle here. I would stand like kinda hidden in the corner. But be always careful here, because sometimes shock darts, sometimes Sova would hit a shock dart down here. Sometimes Sage would wall up and she can see you from here. Sometimes Raze would ulti and Sage. Sometimes Jet would ulti and updraft here. So always be aware from this. Just try to listen to it. If there's something happening here, be fast to react. So with the setup here, you just hold the cam. And the good thing about this cam is you can see people if they're standing here or if they're standing here. If someone is holding this angle like this, you can usually see their weapons. I'm not holding weapons, that's why you can see, but I usually can see the weapon. If someone is walking here, like holding this angle here, you can see them like super clearly. So yeah, if someone is pushing the angle, you just open the cage and spray them. They'll be hitting the tripwire. If usually their teammate would rush out to help them, so they will come and push you. So they have another tripwire here. So after you open this one and you kill one, you go back again, wait for them to hit the second one. But always check your cam. Sometimes Jet would dash here. Sometimes the other teammate would just go. The other enemy would go there and push you from stairs. So always be fast with your cam just to check. And if someone pushes that angle here, you just open the cage and spray them. That's an easy kill. But always be aware from the lurk. If there's no fights on B side, you just can stand here, and sometimes the enemy would lurk. Like if the enemy is lurking, he would just wait for like to listen if there's something happening. Let's say if there's nothing happening, he would be shift walking, right? So he will walk here. He will hear this tripwire. What he would do is he would either jump it, or he would just like walk through it and stay here. That's what mostly I've experienced what the enemies does, is they walk and they go all the way here. So what you do is you tag them. So if let's say you're playing here, let's put our cage back. So you're playing here, the enemy would push this angle, would lurk. So you just tag them, and after you tag them, they will panic, so they want to run back. So you open the cage, and if they run back, sometimes they hit the tripwire by an accident, but usually you open the cage to take cover just in case someone is there, and you try to pick the one who's here. And you can actually solo B side. What you do is you put this waist level, so they cannot jump it, and you put another tripwire here, waist level, and a cage here, and a cage at the entrance. And what you do is you play and mark it. You can solo mid and B like this, and let 4 of your teammates play A. So you hold here with the cam, and at the same time, if something happens here, either they will destroy it or they will get through it. So you should hear it and be fast. You just open the cage and react to it. So yeah, that's mostly for the defense on Ascent. You can do a lot of like nice outplays with Cypher and Ascent. So let's go to the attacking side. Okay, so with Cypher on attack, usually how I utilize Cypher on attacking side is I try to lurk. When I have an opportunity with my teammates to push, I'll push with them. But when we're kinda losing and they already destroyed our movement, or when they have destroyed our momentum, yeah, that's the term I've been looking for. When I've destroyed our momentum, usually that's the time I start lurking. And I never lurk, and I find it kinda of useless if you lurk in the first 3 rounds. Like the pistol round, the round that comes after it if you win, and the bonus round if you win the second round. I never lurk in those. I always lurk from the round that the enemy will have weapons. So what I usually do, if my teammate will go A site, I'll at the beginning of the round I'll go with them. I'll put an anti-flank for them. So yeah, we spawn. We go to A site. They're going A site, so I'll put a trip.
This goes here.
I'll tripwire for them for anti-flank, and for me I'll lurk B. So yeah, lurking B, you have to be super patient. I mean, not only lurking B side, but lurking anyways, you have to be super patient. I usually put a tripwire
This is a
here,
nice spot.
and if there's a Sova in the enemy team, I usually wait in this angle and wait for him to hit to shoot his recon, and I don't shoot it. So I won't give him info that I'm there. I won't shoot it. I'll just let it take its 3 waves and go away. So I'll just wait here for the recon to go away. Then what I do is I'll just shift walk slowly. So
Where are you?
the round has started. I'll just wait for the recon. 3 waves, it's gone. Then I'll shift walk here. Then I will wait here. I'll not peek immediately, because sometimes people will just be waiting in this angle here with an op, or they're just hit aim and waiting for you to peek. So what you do is you just wait. You count like 10 to 15 seconds. It's either they push or it's either they fall back. And try to tell your teammates to kind of like make noise in A, or try to not to fully commit A, but try to pick one in A. So one of the people here would rotate. So you just wait here, and you listen for a footstep. And usually, if there's Killjoy, you can hear the alarm bot and the stuff once you get to the spot here. So once you wait 10 to 15 seconds, you peek it, then you check the angles. I usually check this angle, and I'll wait here. And from this part, it's fun if there's Killjoy in the enemy team, because the Killjoy's setups are all expected, to be honest. It's either they put the turret is either here, or here, or here.
Here.
So you can listen to the turret. And for the alarm bot, you usually place the alarm bot somewhere around this part here. So if you go in, so mostly my point is like you can hear it. So if Killjoy is gonna rotate, you can hear when the alarm bots or stuff goes down. That's the time you push. You don't push. You don't run. You just shift walk the whole thing. You have to be super patient. So what I do is I will just shift walk, and if there's people rotating from mid and B and going there, I'll try to pick them off, get 1 or 2 kills. So that kinda it puts the enemy in a bad situation, because my teammates are already pushing and planting, and there's one in their flank, so they are mostly afraid of being sandwiched. So yeah, that's how I lurk B side. And if there's Cypher traps in the enemy team, you have to play it smart. You just have to either you jump it, or you just wait for the footsteps. I try to catch the enemy when they rotate. If I'm holding this angle and my teammates rush A and they get 1 or 2 picks and plant, usually the one on B side, he panics, so he would just run like full sprint. And usually they're at this angle, so if they're running and they run from here, it's an easy kill for you. So yeah, that's for lurking on B side. Now let's go for lurking on A side.
Pre, the spike, pre.
My camera is destroyed.
Backside Killjoy.
Smoking mid.
Cage trigger.
The spike. Tara.
Pina kayo?
Cage triggered.
B?
Ay,
Okay.
just ready ko lang.
One enemy.
Commit A.
Going A.
Lol. Okay, so lurking on A side, usually you start by putting a tripwire here for your teammates. They're going B, so for their anti-flank, and for you, you'll go A side. So you go A side, you put an anti-flank for yourself, and you do the same thing. If there's a Sova playing A, you just wait for the recon. If he recons around this, usually the recon around this part or this part, so you have to stay at the very far here. You just wait for something to happen. If there is no Sova, if you know the play style of the enemy Sova, that he doesn't recon A, he plays B, so you're good to go. And you just stay in this angle here. And you do the same thing. You count 10 to 15 seconds. If no one pushes, then that's the time you peek. But the thing with A is people usually go in this angle. If the enemy is here waiting, he doesn't hear anything. What he does is he shift walks and goes to Y. You just come at this angle and try to listen to footsteps as well. So now let's get to Cypher's post plant. Cypher post plants are like, that's the most fun part for me. Let's say you go with your teammates, you go in, like the normal push, you close the door, bomb,
I have dropped the spike.
you plant it, and you still have one tripwire. Let's say you didn't lurk and you have one tripwire, so you use one tripwire at the back there for anti-flank. The other tripwire, I'll either use it in heaven or in switch here. It depends on like where I hear people pushing. So if, for example, I'm the one who closed the switch, let's say I'm the one who closed the switch and my teammate planted, I hear people running up to heaven. So yeah, you just come to this angle, jump and put a tripwire here. So yeah, it should be like this. And if you have one or two more cages, just pop one, make it bounce, and comes back here. And you play in hell. So if ever the enemy pushes and he gets stuck in the tripwire, you just open the cage and you spray them. That's like the most fun kills for me when I do this. And if you don't want to play, if you don't hear them coming heaven, you can just put a tripwire here. Just and throw a cage above it, and you play this angle. So if ever they push the tripwire, you just open it and spray. And with your camera, you don't utilize it. I don't utilize it until the post plant. I'll just put it
Retrieved the spike.
randomly anywhere up here, where I can see all of the angles. So if someone is holding in A main, I'll just put my cam here to have like a whole vision of the whole site. So that's how the post plant for me goes in A site. Now let's do the post plant on B site. Usually when I come into the site, when I play post plant, I'll put a tripwire there, I'll put a cage here, and I'll put a cam up there, and I'll just hold this angle. I can see people if they come from here. If someone pushes, kinda hard pushes, and he gets stuck in a tripwire, you just open it, and it's an easy pick. And the second tripwire, I put it here with a cage as well. So yeah, that's if you have two tripwires, guys. If you have one tripwire, I usually put the tripwire here, because that's kind of an easier kill for me, because once they get in, they have no way back. It's either they get back, it's either you kill them or they kill you. But mostly you kill them because you'll have the cage here. I don't put this tripwire here because it's kind of useless. If the enemy pushes like this, he can still go back and their teammate can destroy it. But once they rush this part here, there's no way to go back. So they push, they get stuck, you open the cage and you just pick it. It's an easy kill for you. And if you have two tripwires and a cam, usually if I don't put anti-flank and I'll tell my teammates just to push in, I'll put a cam up there, I'll put a tripwire here, I'll put a cage there, I'll put a tripwire and a cage here, and I'll play this angle here, I'll hold it just down here, and you have full vision of people pushing. Usually if they push from market, they usually check this angle down here. If they don't check it, then you're lucky, you have full vision of them. Because once he checks this angle, he can see the camera. But yeah, that's kind of my guide for Cypher. I know I'm not a pro or anything, but like that's what I usually do, and it kind of works with me. So yeah.
تمشي قلة أدب